God. Oh God, oh no. Someone call 911.
USCCA emergency line, this is Brock. How can I help you?
Yeah, I just had to shoot a guy in self-defense. He had a knife.
All right, sir. Has 911 been called, and are you in a safe place right now?
Yes, 911 has been called, and the cops are on their way. I don't know what to do now. What do I say when they get here? You gotta help me.
All right, sir, don't worry. We're here for you, and we're going to get you through this.
My name is Corey Feevel, and I'm the director for the USCCA Law and Critical Response Team. The Critical Response Teams helps USCCA members who are involved in a self-defense related incident by coordinating their care, managing their benefits, assisting them with attorneys, and getting them the help they need and the resources they need after something so serious like a self-defense related incident. We have a very diverse team that helps members when they're involved in an incident. It's a whole group of people who all have the same goal and the same mission, and that's to help that member recover. So the USCCA Law Network has over 450 attorneys. Over 200 of them are part of our critical response team, and they're located in all 50 states. And in addition to that, these attorneys make themselves available to us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Obviously, we all know that crimes and incidents, it doesn't just happen during business hours. It happens when you're out and you're about and you're living your life.
I've handled probably well over 100 shootings in my career, and very few of them happen at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And the most critical time, the most opportune time to affect how a prosecution is going to go is sometimes in that first 30 or 45 minutes when law enforcement is arriving on scene. They're trying to figure out what happened.
The reason that first 45 minutes is so important is because so many things start happening then. The police officers start making up their mind. The police officers start writing their reports, at least taking their preliminary notes. They might summon a prosecutor. They might, if it's a big case, they might get a prosecutor out of bed as well. And people start making opinions. As we all know, jurors oftentimes start forming their opinions during voir dire, let alone opening statements.
And having a lawyer there who knows what to do and how to guide you through the system and allow you to make statements if needed or keep you from making statements that may not be beneficial at the time is critical in getting the ultimate outcome months or years later. But it's like going to the emergency room. You can't wait 3 months to go see the doctor if you're having a heart attack. You have to be there and be there immediately.
I don't think that most people have a clue what's going to happen after they pull the trigger. It's a very long process. You're going to be insecure in your property, in your freedom, and in your future the entire time that it's pending. Without somebody to help you through that process, I think the result could be disastrous even for an innocent person.
As a critical response team manager, we know that these things can happen at any moment. And for us, it's so powerful to be able to provide members with that kind of care and service and advocacy when nothing else like that exists. You get in a car accident on the weekend and maybe you leave a message for someone to call you back, an insurance agent. There isn't anybody that's going to make sure that you're okay, that you called 911, that your emergency contacts are notified. They're making sure you're home and safe and healthy and cared for. And it doesn't exist. And what we do is powerful, and the support we get from the USCCA and all the resources we have is amazing. It's incredible. One of our most recent cases happened in South Carolina, where USCCA member David Jackson was forced to defend himself and his family during an armed robbery at a barbershop. I received a call from David Jackson January 22nd at 7:00 p.m.
And I spoke to a lady. It was like, like I'm calling somebody's house. It wasn't even, like a normal prompt, oh, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. No, I got right through. She said she have a lawyer call me. A lawyer called me about 5 or 10 minutes later. And she followed up after the lawyer called me, hey, told me the lawyer's name, and so on and so forth. I mean, it was great, easy, quick.
When David called, I immediately jumped into action and became his advocate to help him get the resources he needed. I made sure that David was safe, I made sure that 911 was called, and I immediately connected him to an attorney.
Without the USCCA, I probably would have been nervous and afraid that I might be going to jail for a little bit till they clear this up. It's just the comfort of having a lawyer, you know, at your call when you need them. The USCCA provided me one of the best lawyers in the state of South Carolina, and he actually specializes in police officers discharging their firearms, so this is his specialty.
It's important to me to represent responsible gun owners because they need an outlet of hopefully a responsible gun-owning attorney. In other words, I tend to tell people, and it sounds corny, but I tell them I'm a shooter that happens to be a lawyer. I think a lot of lawyers are really good lawyers, and they probably know the law far better than I ever will, and they know the rules of evidence far better than I ever will, but a lot of them don't know anything about gun culture or guns or the concept of shooting. And that's important. If you're going to defend somebody, you need to understand ballistics and time dynamics and things like that, and that's something you can understand if you're an active shooter. You can't really in any other way. You don't learn anything about self-defense in law school. If they haven't actually practiced it, and if they don't know the lingo and they don't know how it actually works, and they don't know how gunpowder smells, these aren't the people that I want representing me if I'm ever involved in a shooting.
I felt like I was able to do the right thing and be protected, you know what I mean, as a law-abiding citizen, you know. And if you're responsible and you do the right thing and a situation like that occurs, you should be able to defend yourself and not have to worry about going to jail or even spending the night in jail, or what am I going to do about a lawyer and such. And USCCA provides that for you.
For David and many members, the most important benefit of the critical response team is peace of mind. It's the confidence knowing that someone will be there for you in the most critical moments of your life.
USCCA is a great organization that allows folks to kind of have that peace of mind. You know, we insure our homes, we insure our cars. Nobody wants their house to burn down, nobody wants to be involved in an accident, but when it does happen, you have that peace of mind that it's going to be covered. Most people don't realize the enormous cost of legal advice that you would need to pay in order if you're involved in a shooting. And with USCCA, it's one less stress that you have to worry about if you're involved in a shooting.
We don't just help members that were forced to shoot someone in self-defense. Take Buddy Shepard. He was a USCCA member who was arrested on his own property for defending himself and his family against 3 trespassers. He never fired a shot, but we were still able to get him the help he needed.
But there was 2 incidents during this entire thing that I really felt calm, and that's when I sat down with my attorney and he said, "Buddy, I know you well enough. You need to stop worrying about this." He said, "Let me take care of this, don't you worry." And the second time was when we were making arrangements to make his payments made to him through the USCCA.
Buddy already had his own attorney. He just wasn't sure about the means to pay for that attorney. My thoughts right away were just to calm him down and let him know that his USCCA benefits had him covered and that we were going to get him through this.
My attorney fees were astronomical until the USCCA came to my rescue. Without the USCCA coming to my rescue, I'd have probably been selling some of my firearms, getting rid of some of my property. If this would have gone to trial, go through the entire process, which it comes in stages, it would have cost me, with my private attorney, it would have cost me in excess of $50,000 that I don't have.
Nobody that knows how to defend a capital charge will do it for a deposit of less than about $50,000. And that's bare bones minimum. I would recommend that anybody who carries a firearm have insurance, because things can go wrong really fast and you're going to need a legal defense right now, not later. And you need a legal defense that will give you your life back without having to mortgage your home, sacrifice your career, or lose everything, lose your life savings.
The critical response team is available for any member that was involved in a self-defense related incident. It doesn't have to be a shots fired call. If they've ever felt threatened, we are there for them. USCCA member Bill Soule never even drew his firearm. He was a victim of a road rage incident, and when the police came, he was the one who was arrested for having a gun in his car.
The USCCA, where they came in, was after my wife and I were on our way home, and because I owe my mom, I got to pay back $500 to my mom. She goes, we just spent the last $900 on your credit card. That's just a retainer fee. You're gonna have to pay for attorney fees, court fees, all this other stuff. How are we gonna pay for all this? Thursday, bell went off in my head. Hey, you just bought this USCCA insurance. I wonder if they handle that type of situation. So I called them up. She goes, they'll have that check written out today and you'll have it by Monday in the mail. I said, no way. She goes, yeah, oh yeah. She goes, yeah, we'll get this processed right away, have it sent out Monday. Went out the mailbox, there's a check for $1,400.
Bill is the perfect example that you do not have to be involved in a deadly force incident to use your life-saving USCCA benefits. You know, we feel terrible when people are involved in these situations, and when things are taken from them that's so valuable, and the fear that they have, and you know, we develop relationships with our members and the people that we help, and it's not any different than your sister or your brother or your loved one going through a crisis, and helping them and being there for them and supporting them, and knowing that at the end of the day that they're recovered and they're getting back to their lives. It's powerful.